guys, big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta. Today you're here with D-Boy and we are back with another video. So you can hear it a little bit of my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I will be coughing maybe here and there. Sorry about that, but I also have to make some videos for you guys. And this is something that is very interesting. If you go to the Paradox, like the VG Paradox site, which is done by Fuzzy, you can see like there is a new deck that is in there, and that is since a few years. Like the first stop that we have had in this deck that he knows of is 2022. Of course, this deck, as you see from all these beautiful certificates behind me, have been with me for a very long time. And the first stop that we have with it was BCS Germany, Berlin, where we got the chance to win the gold medal, which is right here behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a beautiful trophy behind me, and this is uh, this is the gold medal from Berlin. And this was the first time that the GB8 deck topped. Before that, of course, Rising did top multiple times, and I have also the first top under my belt, and there was this beautiful trophy of the second runner-up of the Netherlands 2017 Spring Circuits Regional Championship. It had a different different name back in the days, yeah. Just chilling right there. You guys can see it, but it's chilling right there. Um, every certificate is right there, and it's way like this side because it's a little bit older. But it sounds like an Indian guy. Damn. Not that there's anything wrong with Indian people, but they just sound funny sometimes. So I'm not taking that one out. So yeah, the first top that we have had this year for the BCS, so the 2024-2025 was of course the one from Portugal. I will be closing these, so I will open them for you guys to see it, and that was of course my list. So I got first place. After that, we have seen different decks try to play the same deck and see how good they will how far and how good the deck is. A lot of people talked about this deck in the past, and it is kind of a magical formula. The deck that we see right here is my list, and we will open the other two lists as well. Um, but first, let's look at this list. So this is the original list and the first list. Very important to see right here. It plays a 17 grade 0, so no extra grade 0. Um, Next to the 16 triggers, just your starter. It plays 11 grade 1, 10 grade 2s, 12 grade 3s. The 11 grade 1s, one of them is the order. So you're actually playing 10, 10, 12. Um, or 10, 10, 11, because you also have an order right here. So your grade 3s are 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 grade 3s and 10 grade 2s and 10 grade 1s. Well, for me, it worked pretty well. I didn't feel the chance that I needed to G assist. Robert also helps a little bit with that, but we didn't really see him do much during the tournament. And during my testing in general, it's a card that could leave the deck. But this is the deck before the promo, before the Eclipse of Havoc promo that you could discard to hit the GB8. And people were very interested to see how could this deck do so well even before the promo, because it was less good defensively. The answer is yes and no. Because of rule lock or roll lock, he does help, of course, in the early game. Um, the availability of Tier with flipping 3 or 4 cards face up each time he comes to the field is of course interesting, as in you could play under E activated in the main phase Honori. Leaving the Honoris on the field means the other elemental, rain element, Pecan, will be able to get rid of it or cancel it out. And with that, you have actually answers for a lot of decks. You have answers for a Mayo Colony throughout your Formios and throughout your Miracle Violence Ace. And then, of course, you have the answers to damage denial, but nobody would damage denial with this deck, not that you need damage. You have the max max for your crest matchups, as in it does give you lots of shield value. You have your Skydiver to reset the combo. You have your G Risings being left or right, the first and the last grade 3, to help out to get the first stride if you go first and have the GB2 already active. Your defensive options are very good, as in you have your, of course, PGs, and you have your heal triggers active and very easy to get to the hand with cards like Jelly Beans. But with Execute Havoc, we will add more defense to the deck. Not only that you could discard him to G-Guard, but it's also a good card to defend with. And what you see right here is the blueprint of all of the GB8 builds, GB8 OTK builds that we will see after this list. So right here we see the Cardiff tournament, and this is the same one. So we'll go to premium, and you see right here there are two players that played the GB8. It's funny, like there was two of everything, I think. Yeah, looks like it. So we have this build, and we have this is the Marshall build. So this is the one from the US, and then we have Cardiff right here. Here you see two spike builds, and you see one from Emily. I don't know who this player is, to be honest, and you see one from Alan Walker. Also, I don't know them. There are a lot of people that have contacted me on Facebook. They of course could use a different name here and there, but people ask a lot about the deck and try to pick it up. Some people got success with it and some did not. The deck plays in a very different playstyle, and sometimes you get lucky with it if your opponent doesn't have the right answers. But if you play against good players, when you hit like the top 16 and top 8, they do know how to play against the deck, and like your luck will run out. So you'll have to be very smart about which choices you make and how you play around the certain cards. And when you hit them with the GB8, you can't always just hit them when you can hit them. Like it doesn't work like that. All right, so let's see the other lists, and then let's get back and talk about it. First of all, I'm very happy to see older Spike with the players like Marshall picking the deck up. We talked a lot about the deck, and his build is the one that is the closest to mine. And as you can see right here, the grade 3s are exactly the same. The 4 jelly beans, the 2 max max, that maybe we need a third one when we play into a very heavy crest format. And then we see the 2 demonic ladies, I mean 3 demonic ladies, the 4 breach sports, the 2 Roberts, and the rain element. So this is exactly the grade 3s, and the grade 2s are exactly the same. Then we go to the grade 1s, and this is something that we talked about. Him and me, he and I. We have the 2 copies of Honolly, adding only 2 copies of Tier and 2 copies of Rulock. I think if you play under E Tier and your opponent's hand is like 10 cards, which is 10 or let's say even 12, then let's say that you need to hit him for 3 damage. I think that's understandable. So with 12 cards on hand, they could easy guard. Let's say they could guard 10 attacks, right? So they could guard 10 attacks. Um, and with that, if you think about it, if you have like 3 face up damage, which you could hit them with the 3 damage with, so that's like goes against each other, then you have to hit them with more than 10 attacks. The the first 5 are free. No, let's say the first 4 are free. Um, and then you have to hit them with 7 attacks. 7 attacks means that you need to countercharge with tier um, 2 or 3 times, depending on how much cards you have face up in your G zone. So you have to activate tier twice in that turn to be able to hit them with that much damage. Of course, some of the attacks that you make will need more shield, and some will need less shield, less cards in their hand, but that's how I think about it. So having the 2 tiers in the deck is necessary. Um, I myself even think like a third one is necessary as well, but it's you don't have that much space. Havoc is a card that you want to add at least 2 of him in the deck, but that doesn't mean he will take your jelly beans out of the deck. Um, that's something that's very important to talk about. So as I said, Marshall's list is very close to mine. The strides are exactly the same. The triggers are exactly the same. The triggers are magical. You don't change anything about that. The starter, of course. Um, yeah. So that's kind of the same build that you see right here. You see there. Um, when you see the other 2 decks, it becomes a little bit more strange. First, let's look at this one. This is Alan's deck. Alan's deck is kind of close. The grade 3s are the same. The grade 2s are the same. The grade 1s are different. As in, of course, you have Havoc. So he added the 4 Havoc and took out the 4 Rulock. Um, I don't know about that. um, I think like you do need Rulock, at least one that you could always search out of your starter if you go second against a certain games. I think Grand Blue and Katrina will be a very 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 difficult matchups if you don't. Um, let's see right here. How did that tournament go? So this is the one from the UK. Do we see lots of Katrinas? We see one Katrina here, one Musketeer there. Kind of played the same, although Katrina could hit harder in the early game. Angels, Dark Irregular, Norkami, Nova Krepler, Genesis, no Spike, Angel. This is not a heavy rush decks that you see right here. Um, so I can understand that a deck like this without a rule lock did well in this certain top decks, but again, there is you do need your rule lock, and the strides are exactly the same, which I don't understand because taking out Meokoni like Ridora to 2, there is no reason to play for Mios anymore. Take him out to play a Marindol. Everything else is kind of the same. And then we go to Emily's deck. I don't know who Emily is, but assuming by having the SPs, triple rare, like the details, this is of course Dark State card, there's the SPs, and here we would know the SP variety, like the old one, GBT9. That would mean that it is a Spike Rail player originally, set for just the 1 tier. Um, but I don't know. Like I see some old SPs here, some cards that not many people have it in the deck. Like most players just play these, especially this one is not the easy one to get. So I'm assuming it's a Spike Weather player or somebody who had access to Spike Weather cards from a old collection or whatever. So this is kind of interesting. This list is a little bit different. First of all, the Gigars, 2 copies of this meal instead of the Reggaeton. I don't think that does make a big difference, as in it's just a flip target. I do like to have the Reggaeton in the deck in case that you just want to flip a Crane Elemental, you just want to discard and draw, but it doesn't really happen that much often, so yeah. But it's nice to have the addition to it. You will never use two Desmials, even in a heavy Narukami format. Berendel, agree with it with 100%. GB8s and everything else is the same. So again, the SPs. Let's see if this is an SP. This is an SP as well. Hmm, interesting. The details, the details. This is an SP, sadly. But again, this is Dark State card, so I get that. Also, I get this one because not everything is full art in the deck, as in this and as in that. Because this is just the old only. Alright, so what else is different in the deck? The Great Zeros are the same, the Great Ones are of course different. Adding only two copies of Havoc, I do get that, but only two Jelly Beans and two Havoc? No, I don't get that. I don't know what happens in this tournament, but being able to hit your GB8 multiple times because you don't have any finishers next to these two, Fermios is out. Only four searchers with your starter and you still hit the GB8? I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I think that you taking your opponent to the late game, but then with only two max and pushing it, pushing it. There are some things in this deck that I agree with, and there are some things that I really disagree with, but it all depend on the player's playstyle, and that's why I said like this would never work for my playstyle, but it did work perfectly for theirs. As in, if you check the tournaments out, Emily got 10th, so she did not proceed to the top eight. So, but again, um, the decks that she would have lost against are DI, Genesis, Neos, Angel, Giza, maybe. Like she came in 10th, so you would say that she lost maybe against the Neonectar player, which also was the one. No, the Neonectar player played against Andrew. Um, oh no, Andrew Allen. Yeah, I think that was the case, but I don't know. Now we look a little bit like this, like the grade threes, 10 grade 3s. Well, two of them are jelly beans. Um, yeah, there's just two jelly beans out. Then if you look at this, the grade 2 is only 10. Yeah, understandable because you're adding a second copy of Beacon and another copy of the Demonic Lady, and you're taking your Roberts out, or maybe they don't have Roberts. And then this list, you have the exactly the same grade 3s, the same grade 2s, and then the grade 1s are also at 11, and here the grade 1s is at 13. So what you have here is actually the two copies of Verdi adding to your grade 3 count instead of the extra two copies of Jelly Beans, which means that you will commit to the field in the early game more, or this is your right target. But if that is your right target, then you will have a lesser chance to under hit your opponent. Um, yeah, because you're actually playing a lot of cards that are 8k or 7k. Like, I don't know about that. You want great ones that are less than 8k, so you could undercut your opponent. And for Marshall's list, it's again, it's exactly the same as mine. 12, 10, 11, 17, 12, 10, 11, 17, 12, 10, 11, 17, and then this is the one difference, as in 10, 10, 13. Alright, so that's kind of it for this video. If you want to check more of these results, you could always go to um, vj/paradox.com, pintcom.com. And right here you can see like the different decks. You go to tournaments or decks or players or rankings, and like you could see if you click on a deck that it could give you also like the results, Japanese, global, um, and you can check here the list. You can check the player. Excuse me. Then you have to go to rankings. You have to go, to, for example, to Europe, and then you have to search the player out. Um, and then you have to click on it. So for me, let's say because they don't have all my tops, I have way more tops than this. Um, you can see here some information on the player, and then you can see like I only play with Sparks, of course. Um, so that's actually quite interesting. If you search the other two players out, like I think Emily was one of the names, and Ellen was another one, but I don't know. Like you have to search to find the right ones. Yeah, and not every player, of course, has all their information, so I don't know. Okay, nice to see Cyril right here, but he also has some other cards that he played. He didn't only play Spike, not anymore, but I hope that he will pick the clan up again. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in our channel. And if you guys have questions about the deck or you want to know more, let me know. I will not show you my build with the exclusive Havoc yet. You will see it at Worlds. So you'll have to wait. Alright, thank you again for watching. And see you next time. So till next time.